Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Alert TV channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today we are diving into one of the most significant and tense developments in the global security landscape, Belarus and Russia conducting joint nuclear operations drills. This isn't just a regular military exercise. It's a powerful message to the West, a strategic demonstration of unity, deterrence, and readiness between two nations that are increasingly acting as one when it comes to defense and nuclear policy. In this detailed review and explanation, we'll explore every angle of this massive operation, from the exterior scale of the drills to the internal strategic motives, the performance capabilities of the systems involved, the safety mechanisms in place, the unique selling points of this display of power, and finally, what this means for global stability and the potential price of such actions in political and economic terms. Let's get into it. From the outside, the sheer scope of these drills is staggering. The images and footage emerging from both Belarus and Western Russia show a coordinated series of maneuvers involving strategic missile units, mobile launchers, aircraft, and command centers. The exterior impression is that of a flawless and synchronized partnership between the Belarusian armed forces and Russia's strategic rocket forces. Heavy convoys of missile carriers were seen moving through Belarusian forests, guarded by armored vehicles and soldiers dressed in full combat gear. The environment of the drills resembled wartime readiness rather than a controlled simulation. What makes the exterior particularly striking is the level of realism: dummy nuclear warheads being loaded, simulated strikes being mapped on large-scale digital screens, and constant communication between Belarusian command centers and Russian military satellites. The drills created an atmosphere not only of strength but also of a unified nuclear front. The visual aspect of this operation was clearly meant to send a message: Belarus and Russia are operating as one nuclear entity, capable of deploying and responding jointly if the need arises. As we move from the exterior to the interior, the deeper purpose and meaning behind these drills, things become even more interesting and complex. The interior framework of this operation lies in geopolitics and mutual dependence. Belarus, under President Alexander Lukashenko, has become one of Russia's closest and most loyal allies. Since the Ukraine conflict began, Belarus has opened its borders, skies, and infrastructure for Russian forces. These nuclear drills are not merely military rehearsals, they are political statements designed to reinforce the strategic integration of the two nations' defense systems. The interior of this relationship shows a deep fusion: Russian nuclear warheads now stationed on Belarusian soil, Belarusian crews being trained to handle dual-capable aircraft, and shared command protocols under Moscow's supervision. This integration serves multiple purposes. First, to strengthen deterrence against NATO and its eastern flank. Second, to test the readiness of command and control systems under simulated nuclear stress conditions. And third, to show internal and external audiences that Russia is not isolated, that it has allies who will participate in nuclear deterrence alongside it. Inside these drills, the coordination is layered and sophisticated. The interior training modules included simulations of both defensive and offensive nuclear responses. Commanders rehearsed what would happen if Belarus or Russia came under nuclear threat from NATO. The teams practiced the communication flow from local military bases to Moscow's central command, ensuring that even under electronic warfare or cyber attack, the chain of command remains unbroken. The level of technical and human precision required for these operations is extraordinary, and that is where the drills become not just symbolic but functional. They are preparing the Belarusian forces to operate as an extension of the Russian nuclear apparatus, meaning that the interior system of deterrence is no longer Russian alone, but an integrated, two-nation structure. The political interior, too, carries a message to the Belarusian population: aligning with Russia brings protection and prestige. To Moscow, it reinforces the image of unity and strength amid Western sanctions and isolation. Now, looking at the performance aspect, these drills demonstrate the operational efficiency and technological advancement of both nations' strategic systems. Reports from defense analysts suggest that the exercises included the deployment of Russia's Iskander M short-range ballistic missile systems, which can carry both conventional and nuclear warheads. Belarusian forces practiced handling and maintaining these systems under real-time pressure, with Russian specialists supervising performance standards. The performance results were described as highly successful, indicating that the joint nuclear force achieved synchronization in timing, accuracy, and response capability. Furthermore, air defense units in Belarus coordinated with Russia's aerospace forces to simulate interception of hostile missiles, an advanced feature of the joint drills that underlines how integrated their performance metrics have become. In performance terms, these drills showcased not only weapon reliability but also communication speed and coordination accuracy, essential elements in any nuclear command environment where every second counts. Performance also extends to the psychological impact. By performing these exercises so openly, both nations are signaling performance at the diplomatic and deterrence level. This isn't just about how well the missile systems operate, but about how effectively the drills perform in influencing perceptions, in NATO capitals, in Washington, and in Kyiv. Every launch, every vehicle movement, every radar sweep is part of the psychological, performance theater of strategic deterrence. And from that perspective, the drills have achieved their goal perfectly. The world's media picked up the story, debates erupted in international forums, and global leaders expressed concern, proving that the performance reached its target audience without firing a real weapon. When it comes to safety features, nuclear drills naturally come with enormous risk. Handling warheads, even if they are dummies, involves strict protocols and safety procedures. Both Russia and Belarus have heavily emphasized that these are training drills, not preparations for actual deployment. Every movement of material was monitored under multiple layers of security, physical, electronic, and procedural. Safety in these drills doesn't just mean preventing accidents, it means maintaining control at every stage. In nuclear operations, safety and control are synonymous. Russian teams have decades of experience in managing strategic systems safely, and Belarusian personnel are now being trained to match those standards. There are also international safety optics. Moscow and Minsk are trying to project the image of responsible nuclear powers who practice readiness but do not cross red lines. Yet, the underlying message remains that the more these drills occur, the more normalized nuclear readiness becomes in Europe's heartland. Safety also extends into command stability. A crucial safety feature in any nuclear system is ensuring that launch authority remains centralized and protected from unauthorized access. The drills were structured to verify that communication lines between Belarusian bases and Russian Central Command cannot be hacked or disrupted easily. That's a safety feature in the modern sense, cybersecurity. Both nations are aware that the real threat today is not only nuclear explosion but digital infiltration. Thus, much of the safety component of these drills focused on protecting data links, encrypting transmissions, and ensuring backup systems are ready in case of disruption. These are invisible but vital safety features that determine the reliability of nuclear deterrence in the 21st century. In terms of unique selling points, what truly sets these drills apart from previous exercises is the level of integration and message control. Unlike earlier drills that focused on conventional readiness or missile launches within Russia's territory, this operation uses Belarus as an active stage, Europe's doorstep. It's a direct show of nuclear muscle closer to NATO's borders than ever before. Another unique aspect is the political synchronization. Lukashenko and Putin have aligned their rhetoric to present these exercises not as aggression, but as defensive preparation. This dual narrative, that the drills are both peaceful and powerful, is one of the most striking aspects of their strategy. It's a unique selling point in international messaging, deterrence disguised as defense. Additionally, the use of dual-capable systems like the Iskander and Su-25 aircraft gives these drills flexibility and unpredictability, another selling point from a military standpoint. These systems can switch between conventional and nuclear payloads, keeping adversaries guessing about their real-time purpose. This ambiguity itself becomes a strategic weapon. The exercises also emphasize speed of deployment, showing that within hours, Belarus and Russia can coordinate a nuclear-capable strike from multiple platforms, across land and air, under one unified command structure. In strategic marketing terms, it's like unveiling a new model of a weapon system that's more flexible, faster, and more tightly integrated than ever before. Now, if we talk about the price of these drills, the cost isn't just measured in financial terms but in geopolitical currency. Economically, the operations are expensive. Mobilizing thousands of troops, transporting missile systems, and maintaining constant satellite surveillance burn through millions of dollars. But politically, the price is even higher. These drills have already escalated tensions with NATO, prompting new rounds of discussions in Brussels about reinforcing eastern defense lines. The European Union and the United States are likely to respond with additional sanctions or military aid to Ukraine. In the long run, Belarus may face deeper isolation from the West, limiting trade and technological cooperation even further. For Russia, the price adds to an already heavy burden of war expenditure and sanctions. Yet, for both leaders, that price is worth paying if it reinforces their image of power and defiance. The conclusion of these drills leaves the world watching with unease. On one hand, it demonstrates a level of military coordination rarely seen in modern Europe. On the other, it reveals how dangerously close the region is drifting toward a permanent nuclear shadow. Belarus has effectively become a forward operating base for Russia's nuclear deterrence strategy. This marks a historic shift in the balance of power, with NATO now facing a new nuclear frontier only a few hundred kilometers from its borders. The conclusion, therefore, is not just about military performance but about psychological and political signaling. The message is simple: Russia and Belarus will stand together, they will train together, and if necessary, they will fight together. In closing, the nuclear operations drills between Belarus and Russia represent more than an exercise. They are a warning, a test, and a declaration. The exterior shows unity, the interior reveals deep integration, the performance proves capability, the safety mechanisms demonstrate control, the unique selling points highlight innovation and psychological strategy, and the price underscores the risks that come with power. As the global community reacts, one thing is clear: this display has shifted the strategic conversation in Europe. Whether it brings deterrence or danger, only time will tell. But for now, this drill has reminded the world that the nuclear question is back at the center of global security, and this time, Belarus is part of the answer.